शिवाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय।
गंगाधरो ललाटाक्षः कालकालः कृपानिधिः भीमः परशुहस्तश्च मृगपाणिर्जटाधरः। Gangadharaha, the one who holds Gangaji in his jata. Once it is said that there was a great king called Sagar. He had two wives. Through the first wife he had one son, and through the second wife he had 60,000 sons. King Sagar once decided to perform an Ashwamedha Yajna, and so all preparations were made. But the day he started the Yajna, Indra came in the form of a demon and stole away the horse. So Sagar Raja, he sent out his children, 60,000 sons, to find out where is the horse taken. And they roamed around the whole earth. They started digging the earth also, but they couldn't find the horse. Indra had left the horse in the ashram of Kapil Muni. And Kapil Muni is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. So the sons of King Sagara finally came to the hermitage of Kapil Muni and they found the horse there. So they assumed that Kapil Muni is the thief. So they were very furious and angry and they tried to snatch the horse. They insulted Kapil Muni, and some of them, as they moved to even injure Kapil Muni, just by his glance, Kapil Muni burnt all the 60,000 sons. They were reduced to ashes then and there. For a long time, when these sons did not come back, Sagar Raja sent his grandson, Amshuman, to find out what has happened. Where are they? Why have they not returned? Finally, when Amshuman comes to the hermitage of Kapil Muni, he sees the huge pile of ash spread all over, and he comes to understand that this is what has happened. So he wants to do Tarpan. He wants to offer Jalanjali for all the ancestors who have deceased. At that time, Garudji was flying past there, and Garudji told him, ordinary Tarpan and Jalanjali will not work. You will have to get Gangaji to flow on these ashes, then they will get mukti. So Amshuman took the horse, went to Sagar Raja, explained everything to him. Sagar Raja was very pained at this incident. Many people in the Vamsha of Sagar Raja, they tried to do penance to bring Gangaji to the earth, but none of them succeeded. Finally, it was Bhagirath who was born in that lineage, and he left all the kingdom and all responsibilities. He said, my main duty is to liberate my ancestors, so I will go and do my tapasya. And he did tremendous amount of tapasya, and his tapasya pleased Brahmaji. Brahmaji said that I am happy to send Parvatraj Himwan's daughter Ganga onto the earth, but there is nobody who can bear the force with which she will come down. Somebody has to be able to bear the impact and then let out that Gangaji in a small stream. Otherwise, the whole earth will get destroyed. So Brahmaji said the only person who can handle this is Lord Shiva. So in some versions, we find that Brahmaji suggests to propitiate Lord Shiva. In some versions, we find that Gangaji herself suggests that only Lord Shiva is capable. Either ways, it is Lord Shiva alone who had that capability to withstand the force of Gangaji. So Bhagirath starts doing tapasya to please Bhagwan Shiva, and Bhagwan Shiva is Ashutosh. He gets pleased very easily, and he accepted that yes, I will do this for you and your ancestors. Let Gangaji flow down. See, Gangaji is flowing in the Akash, because beautiful is the origin of Gangaji. When Bhagwan Vishnu took the form as Vaman avatar, and with one step he covered the higher worlds, Brahmaji used some water and he did the abhishek of Bhagwan Vishnu's feet. So born as though from the pot of Brahmaji onto the feet of Lord Vishnu, and now on the jata of Lord Shiva. So Gangaji was flowing in Akash when the Abhishek was being done. So it is called Akash Ganga. That Akash Ganga has to come on the earth. So on the appointed day, Lord Shiva stands, they say that it was in Gangotri, and there Bhagwan Shivji is standing there, ready to receive Gangaji. While coming down, Gangaji feels proud. See, she is also the daughter of Himavan like Parvati. So they are in fact sisters. When she was coming down, she was very proud that I will wash away Lord Shiva also, and I will go away into Patal. Nobody can bear the onslaught of my force. Lord Shiva understood that ego has risen, and Lord Shiva received the whole Gangaji, trapped her in his jata. So he is called Gangadhara. One who received Gangaji and one who held Gangaji. Dharayati. So Gangaji got trapped in his jata. And it is said for many, many years, Gangaji was just trapped. She was not able to find an outlet. Again, Bhagirath has to do penance and please Lord Shiva and say that please let a stream of Gangaji flow onto the earth. And out of great compassion for Bhagirath, and Gangaji's pride also was humbled by then. So it is said only 1/7 of Gangaji flows from Lord Shiva's jata onto the earth. So it is said 3/7 of Gangaji is in the heavens, 3/7 in the interspace, and only 1/7 flows on the earth. And even that Gangaji stream which flows on the earth, it divided into 7 streams. 3 streams, Hladini, Pavani and Nalini, went towards the east. 3 other streams, Suchakshu, Sita and Mahanadi, went towards the west. And the 7th stream went behind Bhagirath, where Kapil Muni's ashram was, flowed on the ashes of the 60,000 ancestors, and when that happened, they all got mukti. So this is a story of Ganga Avtaran. All the Devatas, everybody was watching this divine sight of Ganga Avtaran on the earth. And Lord Shiva also had told Bhagirath that not only I will bring Gangaji onto the earth for redeeming your ancestors, but for the whole humanity itself. And since then, Gangaji has been flowing on the earth. She is a Vedic river. In the Vedas, the mention is there of Gangaji, and she is most purifying. Even today, many people go to Haridwar, Rishikesh, etc., and they take a dip in Gangaji. On the banks of Gangaji, many karmas are done to liberate the ancestors as well as to purify oneself. Now, many people may say that, oh, this is all just story. We know the source of Gangaji is the Gomukh glacier. She is a glacial river. See, in our culture, we consider even the trees, plants, birds, animals, rivers, everything as an appearance of the divine. So we worship Mother Nature. We don't treat Mother Nature as an object of our enjoyment. We revere, we worship. Secondly, we may know physical source of the river. The physical source of the river, we may say, is the glacier. What is the glacier made up of? It is made up of water, it is ice which is frozen. From where did that water come? Supreme Lord is the very source of Gangaji or not? In that sense, all the 5 elements come from Bhagwan and his Maya Shakti, his Prakriti. From there comes the 5 elements, and the whole universe is an appearance of the divine. When we associate the origin of the river with Lord Shiva, what is the bhavana that we have? She is a divine river. She purifies us. And what purifies is not just taking the dip. It is our devotion that purifies. It is our surrender that purifies. So whether we believe factually this happened or not is immaterial. What is important is the symbolic meaning and the bhavana that it generates in us. That when we visit Gangotri, we see the Gangotri Mandir, we worship Gangaji, and how many countless lives have been benefited by the flow of Gangaji, right from the glaciers when Mother Ganga flows down to the plains and finally merges into the ocean at Ganga Sagar. Thousands and millions of lives are being nurtured and nourished by Gangaji. She is a symbol of seva. She is a symbol of bhakti, devotion. Because from the pot of Brahmaji to the feet of Bhagwan Vishnu to the head of Lord Shiva, and then she flows onto the earth. So when we take a dip in Gangaji, we remember the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Ganga is the most purest of the rivers. Even a buffalo takes bath in Gangaji without knowing any of this. Physically, the water may cleanse the body, but the bhavana cleanses our mind. When we take a dip in Gangaji, all our papa gets destroyed. Like the ancestors, they were redeemed. We also get redeemed from our sins and mistakes. The tendency to commit them again is washed away. And we take a strong sankalp that no matter what I have been till today, no matter what wrongs I have done till today, oh mother, bless me that I transform today. I let go of my past. I let go of all my negative tendencies. I become purified. And I resolve to transform and live a more positive life. Our Param Guru, Sri Swami Tapon Maharaj, used to say, O Mother Ganga, I am your worshipper, not your critic. I respect you as my supreme goddess. I love and worship you as my mother. To me, it is all the same whether you were created by Brahma at the time of creation or by Bhagirath later on. It matters little whether you originated at the foot of Vishnu or flow through the matted hair of Shankara or gush up at the foot of some Himalayan peak and make your way through glaciers. Can a son loyal to his mother criticize her? May my devotion to Mother Ganga go on ever increasing. May the Holy Ganga continue her mission of mercy.
जय जय गंगे जय हर गंगे 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 बोलिए गंगा मैया की जय।
ॐ नमः शिवाय।